Although Christian, Muslim, and many other religions consider suicide a sin and forbid it, suicide had existed earlier before religion governed era in history. For example, in ancient Athens and in ancient Rome. The reasons for suicide then included volunteering, death in a gladiator combat, guilt over murdering someone to save the life of another as a result of mourning from shame from being raped, and as an escape from an intolerable situation like physical suffering, military debate, or criminal pursuit, which are much like general reasons of suicide today. It's hard to conclude that take one's own life to die is justified within human nature, but since never have we had a chance to choose about our own birth, it's fair to say taking the way of our death at our own hands is a kind of freedom. Honestly, the general ways of suicide have been quite limited for thousands of years. Hunting, jumping, drawing, medication overdose, and firearms. More creative ways, read the book Funny Suicide by Annie Reilly, which bring more hilarious methods and make you laugh to death. Which way is the most popular? You may always heard of jumping to death from news and movies. Even China's Nanjing Yangtze River Bridge, San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge, Japan's Akigahara Forest, England's Beauty Head, and Toronto's Bloor Street Viaduct. All remarkable bridges all over the world have become the general suicide places. However, jumping is not the most popular way of suicide. Instead, firearms. See? Death rate varies by methods. Firearms 80 to 90%, drawing 55 to 80%. Pesticides 60 to 95%, jumping only 30 to 60%, and medication overdose only 1.5 to 4%. Are these methods work the same in different countries? You think people in different countries live in the same way? Of course not, neither suicide. Currently in the United States, 50% of suicides involve the use of firearms, with the methods being somewhat more common in men than women. In Japan, self-disablement known as seppuku still occurs. However, hunting and jumping are the most common. Another high-ranked suicide way, pesticides, is another China's characteristic. In China, especially in the rural areas, because pesticides is one of cheap and common chemical for farmers' families. Also, there are a large amount of rural elders who traditionally believe their altruistic suicides can benefit other young family members from financial burden. Maybe due to numbers of skyscrapers in limited land in both Hong Kong and Singapore, jumping to one's death is commonly at 50% to 80% respectively. Male or female? Who commits suicides more? Sex and gender factors in suicides also varies in different regions. In general, nowadays, the gender differences in suicide result from cultures in different areas. In the Eastern Mediterranean, suicide rates are nearly equivalent between males and females. In North American countries such as the United States and Canada, and North Asia countries such as Russia and Ukraine, suicide rates in males are higher than those in females. But in Far and South Asian countries such as South Korea, China, and India, the data is the opposite. Suicide rates in females are higher than those in males. Basically, people in Europe have been enjoying the highest level of gender equality, so does suicide gender data? In North America and North Asia, males suffer more economical and political burdens than females, which probably account for more possibilities on suicide cases. In Far and South Asia countries, women suffer lower gender status and bear more altruistic kindness for others, such as China's pesticides cases. In what age people prefer to commit suicides most? In many countries, the rate of suicide is in the mid-ages and elderly, both for men and women. The average suicide is between age 30 to 49. The absolute number of suicides, however, is greatest in those between 12 and 29 years old, due to the number of people in this age group.